Hangout is on air. Okay, brilliant. Good evening.
Good evening, guys.
And welcome to, is it episode 7? Yeah. Reseller Chinwag number 7. So hope you're having a good evening, everybody, in this bitterly cold and wet weather.
Yeah, it's been a bit cold and wet up here.
Yeah,
it's
not been the best weather, but saying that, it's not the end of the world either, is it? I mean, yeah. I mean, we're managing okay. Bit of hail and all that. No snow yet for us, unfortunately. Hello to the 19 people that have joined us already. We have got Steve Hicksey. We have got Silver Pirate, Rich Downs, Gary Dunster, Jason Entwistle, Malinky, Daniel Freckles, Heather Wood, Mrs. H, Steve the Reseller, Richard Payne, Matt Morgans, and who else is there? Sadia, Nolan. So hello everybody. We've got 30 people in here. You know, it's brilliant to see everybody. Amanda says, hello, lovely people sitting, falling asleep. Got notification of the chat. Now you guys can wake me up. Brilliant. Okay, let's have a look at everything that I need to look at. Bear with me, guys. I've actually gone and gotten myself a second monitor, which is really cool. I've always wanted a second monitor again, to be honest. Yeah. You
had one a while ago, didn't you?
Yeah, and I got rid of it, and I didn't like it. Okay. Richard Down says, can we have a list and timetable of all the live chats I keep missing or joining near the end? We only do ours on a Friday.
Yeah. Or is it like what everyone does during the week?
Yeah, maybe that would be quite good.
Like Caroline and Sean on Monday.
Yeah, Caroline and Sean on Monday. Then there's the chat with me and Nick on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then obviously Sunday is Les. I think, I mean, that's about it really. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we? Yeah. Okay. All right.
I don't know why you're looking at me like that.
I don't know. You
I just follow your lead.
Oh, you follow my lead. Okay. No. All right. Brilliant. Well, let's have a look. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how our week has gone. Obviously, just the past 7 days, and sales wise, we'll start off with sales as we always do. We want to talk about how sales have been. Now, it started off well.
Yeah, it started off well this week.
Yeah, I mean, on eBay we started. I think we had a good Saturday, Sunday, because we kind of work it from like, you know, we start a new week on a Friday because when we do the chat, so that's how we work the last 7 days. And we had a good Saturday, good Sunday, Monday was good, and then I think like Wednesday, Thursday has not been great on eBay.
It kind of just dropped off a little, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was a bit surprised why. I think our webcam keeps messing around, but we'll hopefully be okay.
Okay.
Are we okay? I think that's better like that. Let's do it like that. Yeah. Because look. See?
I'm not looking at that. So
so the sales have been decent, but they slowed down, and I think it's ended up us being on eBay under the £100 a day, which is not where we want to be.
Yeah.
So I think it's about just a shade over 600 odd on eBay. I think it was, which is quite poor for this time of year. However, the good news has been, or the surprising news has been, that our Amazon has kind of kicked in a bit for us. We do a bit of FBA.
Not much.
Yeah, I mean, a real little bit of FBA.
It's a tiny little bit, and it's more you do FBA. I can't get my head around it at the moment. So I'm dealing with eBay more than I'm dealing with FBA.
Yeah.
I think that's fair to say, isn't it?
Which is kind of cool because the FBA has shown us that, if you're having a bad day on eBay, it can save you and it can make you feel a bit better. So sales have been a little bit sketchy towards the end of the week, but luckily FBA has been there, and FBA has been pretty good. I mean, it's as long as you're sending in stuff that people like want, you can get really good money. I'd like to just give a quick shout out to Tom the English Picker as well. I doubt he's in there, but he made a great video about people underselling and why you shouldn't undersell on FBA because of the amount of fees that you pay. So it's, you should really be trying to get top money and, get a lot more than you can get for something on eBay. I mean, you can get, I mean, I think, for example, we sold like the Harry Potter Diagon Alley board game, I think for like 55 quid.
Yeah.
We were struggling to get 30
on eBay.
Yeah, we had it on eBay for 30 for ages. We sent it up and it got 55. Granted, Amazon are going to take a chunk.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there are bigger fees involved with Amazon, so even though we got more money, you kind of got to weigh that stuff up.
Yeah, but it's not that bad. Like, I think even if they took like a tenner off it, I think it was, you're still going to end up with 45 quid.
But haven't you gone on to like a different account?
Well, yeah, I've gone on to the paying, because I wasn't
really
paying for it before. Now, because I'm looking to send more in, I'm actually paying for it. So we're going to be doing I've got the Amazon Pro account now, so I'm to kind of just get me to send more stuff in.
Yeah.
So and I think it's been working. So
I mean, you send stuff up regularly. I mean.
Yeah, I've been doing a bits and pieces. I've been taking stuff off eBay, sending it up there. But long and short of it is, sales week was good start, bad finish, but FBA came in. That's the pricey of it.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much a little bit of a roundup of the sales this week, isn't it? It's a case of eBay's kind of taken the dip, but Amazon's kind of saved our bacon or behinds
or wherever.
Yeah.
Now there's been a couple of things that have stopped us from having a better week on eBay, and one of them is an unpaid item.
Yeah.
Now I want to talk about this because I want to rant, I think, because I'm pissed off about this. We recently sold like a keyboard synthesizer thing on eBay, and if some of you who've watched my have watched my older videos, you would have seen I've sold these before. Now I had one of these synthesizers and we put it up and we sold it pretty quickly, a couple of days, and
we had it on for best offer, didn't they?
I think this actually sold on Saturday last week, I think it was. And the guy just didn't pay, no contact. Messaged the guy. I mean, if you're a non-paying buyer, say if you're someone that can't understand basic rules or read properly, and you don't understand that making an offer is an obligation to buy, if you're that thick, if you're that stupid, if you're that ignorant, then I can understand that, because there are really thick, ignorant, stupid people in the world. And if you're that thick that you still press make an offer and it comes up on the screen, are you sure you want to make this offer because it's a legal obligation to buy, and then you still don't buy, at least have the goddamn common courtesy to reply to a seller's messages. It is just so frustrating, and I want to get this off my chest because it's really pissed me off. It just I often
don't hold back.
No, because it's just irritating, because my point is, when I get an unpaid item case, I tend to send the buyer a message. I will say to the buyer, like, hi there, thanks for your purchase. If you don't want, when can I expect payment? If you've had alternatively, if you've had a change of mind, let me know so I can cancel the sale. So I'm giving them a get out clause.
I mean, we can't. Well, we haven't been able to relist it until I think it's today. We can relist it.
Yeah, we'll be able to relist it again for this evening. But
it's just frustrating, isn't it? It's been off sale basically since then.
That's the thing. It's the frustrating part is you give someone a get out clause. You say to them, "Do you want to cancel the sale?" Right? And then they don't reply. Now, one thing that's even worse is when you then open a case and then magically the emails appear magically. Maybe the cataracts fall off their eyes and then suddenly they can read their emails. And then they're like, I didn't want the item. Can you close the unpaid item case? And by that stage, it's, well, no, fuck you. It's you're going to have a mark against your account, as you should, for being a prick. But in this case, the guy has just gone off radar. The case is shut. And that's it. And I'm going to have to then wait for the case to close so that I can get my final value fees back. and then relist the item. But in effect, this guy can get away scot-free. He's going to get a ding on his account. But taking my item off the market, it's just frustrating. And, and frustrating. I was going to think, oh yeah, it's more because it's a big ticket sale. But no, I don't think. I think it's. I got equally pissed off.
Yeah, with no, you did.
I can't even remember what the other item was, but it really. I don't like that. It's frustrating. So that's just something that bothers me.
Gary Dunstan said he's had similar with someone this week as well.
Yeah.
You've gone past his message.
Have I? Okay. Okay. Well, it's one of those. Here we go. Let's have a look. I completely agree with you, Z. This happens with me. Yeah. Pay up. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen often, so I don't want to make a big deal out of it. But it was a big deal for us this week. When especially when sales and I know that's not the guy's problem. It's not his fault.
No.
So it's fine.
If you're gonna put an offer in on something,
I mean, I just hope that if he plays piano or something, I hope his best friend rips him off and takes his. I hope he writes an amazing jingle that could make him millions, and I hope his best friend steals it from him and makes millions.
Okay. All right, then we'll leave it there.
So yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Wait,
but
should we move on?
Yeah, we're gonna move on from that because it's
calm down now.
Yeah, I'm gonna calm down and I'm gonna say, okay, it's fine that you wanted to buy something and not pay. That's fine. Okay. So anyway, that's it.
That's your rant.
Yes, that's my rant over. We've got 64 people in here now. I've just seen Ultra Game World, Mrs. H, UK Reseller, Christy Curtis, Miss Beauty, Gary Dunster, Richard Payne. There's so many people. John Brady, Amanda, Chris A. I've just seen Bonafide Hustler as well. Peter Ricks. Welcome to the chat. I've let the rant off my chest. I hope it hasn't put you off. But yes, my blood pressure. It's one of my pet hates. It's just frustrating. I'm going to move on.
Yeah, we're going to move on now.
The next thing we wanted to talk about as to our week, it's been our focus.
Yeah.
I mean, do you want to kind of...
So our focus this week has been on, because we're on about, 760 odd listings, I think, last time I checked.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact number. Bearing in mind, we've taken some down to actually send off to FBA. Now we're starting to look at higher priced items.
Yeah.
So we have been going to quite a few auctions this week.
Yeah.
Although we haven't had like massive pickup, but the items we have picked up are really good high ticket items.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I think this is something that's been touched on before. Do you have like a giant inventory versus like a smaller inventory? And I think we've built up our we've built up our inventory to a level that we're quite comfortable with.
Yeah, we've got a good
a variety.
Yeah. But we were kind of missing those really like those meaty items.
The meaty. Yeah, we were missing a bit. We had too much veg. Okay, we had too much reselling veg, and we needed a bit of reselling meat. Is what you're saying? Yeah, like a bit of sirloin or a T-bone,
exactly.
and I think that's the situation.
Yeah.
So we made a decision, to focus a little bit more in terms of our sourcing on those kinds of items. So we've been looking for kind of like larger items. It's just something that's a bit more fast moving as well. So we've been kind of picking those kinds of items up, and it's been a good week of pickups, really. I think in the space...
I mean, I missed out on a couple of items.
You did.
And I was really frustrated, but because it was a bit like unknown to me, I was like, no, I wasn't willing to go any higher than that. So that's what I got beat by. Someone was willing to pay more. So.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you're at auction, you're going to find days where you're at auction and people pay way over the odds for things, and then there are times where they'll pay like way under. I'll give you a good minor example. I was looking for another office chair. I missed out on an office chair because I just didn't pay attention last week, and an office chair, really nice one, went for £4. Just this week, an office chair came up again at auction, and I was like, oh wow, office chair again at auction. And it went for like £14. I'm not going to pay £14 for a second-hand office chair from an auction. Just not going to do it. You can if you want to.
Not when the good one went for £4.
Exactly. So that's just the way it is sometimes. But we've been focusing on just getting some larger items. It's been pretty successful. We had a decent pickup off a local Facebook group.
Oh yeah.
We got like a nice little Sylvanian families thing job lot.
Yeah, we got like
the hotel and the windmill.
And there was like loads of figures actually.
Lots of little accessories.
And then like bits of furniture and things like that. So that was really, really
we
good.
did, yeah. And we also picked up a couple of cash registers as well.
Yeah.
Which was really fantastic as well. I've sold a few cash registers before, and I've been picking those up this week. So that kind of item, a bit bulkier, a bit heavier. However, they do tend to move a bit quicker.
They do
say.
actually. We get a fair amount of interest in them, don't we?
Yeah. So they're pretty good. So we've been moving a bit towards more that kind of situation. We've got 70 people watching, which is fantastic. We have got 18 thumbs up, which is brilliant. But I'm sure you guys can improve on that. I'm gonna have to ask you to smash that like button. I love saying that. I think it's fantastic. So just going back through a few comments. Let's have a look. Some people agreeing with me on my rant. So frustrating. Relist. It was totally rude. Rant. I love it. Says Chrissy Curtis. Block the buyer so they can't buy again. Some advice says. Steve Hicksey says you make me laugh. Carp Adventures says waste of time. Let it go, Z. Peter Rick says he had it the other week for an £8 item and he's still upset about it. So it's done. It's done.
But you don't normally let things get to you.
You shouldn't let things get to you because
I've been letting things get to me, haven't I?
I think there's
been a couple of things that are really like niggling at me. And
one bit of advice I can give you guys is the longer you do this, the more you will understand people and how they behave. Like for example, normally something like an unpaid item case will not bother me. And it was just something to talk about today. But you don't normally flip out. No, I don't
get frustrated and like you're really laid back actually.
I'm pretty laid back overall. Yeah. I think Rebecca's been finding. You tell them. You've had a couple of messages like returns and things. Kind of leads on to our next point actually. Well, it leads on to that point. So just tell them about the Sims.
So we had this guy message us the other morning, wasn't it? I think we were on our way to an auction at the time. And saying he hadn't received his item. So we messaged him back because it was an Argos kind of click and collect thing. Messaged him back and said, well, it hasn't been posted directly to you. It's gone to your local store, like Argos store as you requested. Please can you check there? Then later on in the day, I don't know how later on, it was still like a couple of hours or something, wasn't it? He sent another message at Argos now, still not here. And it just kind of frustrated me.
I think what it was is the first message was.
What do you expect me to do? Where's my item? That was the first. That was the first thing that tipped me off.
The message was literally, "Where's my item?" That's it. It was very. Okay. And it upset you a bit. You got a bit wound up.
The thing is, like normally, like if you get like a message saying, hi, can you just look into where my item is? You haven't received it yet. Should have received it by now. Hasn't turned up. You kind of are a little bit more. Wanted to be a bit more helpful, shall I say? When you get a message like that, you're just like, what?
The way that people speak to you. But the thing is, what I said to Beck was is the advice I would give to anyone out there, that you do get used to it and it's not worth sweating over. People do have various ways. Some people are really good at communicating. Some people are not so good at communicating. So it's just something you have to it's something you have to just accept and not get wound up by. Definitely. I think Beck is finding now how difficult it is to accept returns.
I mean, at the moment, sometimes I just say to Zahir, I think you better respond to this one because I don't think what I will type will be appropriate. So in cases like that, I just say to you,
but that's something you will learn. That is
something.
something you will learn to, you know. Unfortunately, it's a cost of the business where people will try things.
I mean, I'm
sometimes
not disputing that he hasn't received
it was just the method of reply.
It was just the comment.
Yeah.
I think it was just like, you know, there's a certain way to kind of approach a situation.
Yeah.
If you haven't
I mean, the message was plain rude. It was literally, you know, you wake up, first thing, where's my item?
Yeah.
And you feel like saying, I don't know, have you checked your ass? I mean, that's what you feel like saying, isn't it? Because, you know, well, no, that's what you're thinking, right? When you get a message like that, or I don't know well, that's what I thought. I mean, like, have you checked your ass? Because it's such a ridiculous way to speak to someone, isn't it? I mean, but obviously you can't do that. You have to reply. I replied in a really professional way. I'm always like, I'm sorry to hear that.
And the thing is, I would normally.
Yeah.
But you would. That day, I think it just kind of ticked me off a bit. And I was just like, I don't think I can speak to this one.
Yeah. So it's funny how things like that can bother you. People were talking about snow days. I'm jealous. I really wish there was a snow day. We didn't really get any snow here. I can see Nick Hills is in the chat as well. So hi, Nick. Raz says, I'm sure Z's bobble hat was white when he started. It's always been this colour. It's just better lighting. Rebecca knit this for me. That's why I wear it. Here's a funny comment, actually, from Pippa Bayfield. The indoor beanie seems to be becoming a popular look for resellers. Helen wears them in her vids too. Is it a fashion story or are you cold, Z? I'm cold.
I think it's more cold.
Yeah, I'm cold. And you know what? The other thing is my hair is like...
He still hasn't got it cut.
I haven't got it cut.
I tried to shame him into
yes,
a
you
haircut
did. I can't believe you did that. I went to the hairdressers with her, and she tried to embarrass me into getting my hair cut.
Yeah, it just didn't happen. Though.
Yeah, I stayed strong and said I'm not getting it cut.
Like this.
Yeah, I said I'm not getting it cut. You know, I'll get it cut when I want to get it cut. I'm not ready yet. So okay. But yeah, that is cool. Nick's massive haul. Nick battling the huge haul pile. A few comments there. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen, check out Nick Hill's channel. If you already aren't, which you obviously are. But if you haven't, check it out. It is a mental pickup. It is absolutely mad. And the funny thing is, after he picked that up on the chat when he's like on the way home from a charity shop, I mean, the guy is literally picked up more stock than any sane person could handle, and you know, and on the way home he picks up a stack of board games. I mean, it's an addiction, isn't it? I think it's an addiction. So it's let's have a look. So that is the point. A few comments and questions coming in. I will try to answer them as quickly as I can. I appreciate I'm not great at this, but I'm going to try. UK Reseller says the other day got a nice bundle including a Nintendo 64, a Super Nintendo, a Wii console, and Atari with games. So hopefully I'll do that. I will do well this Christmas. Nice. Yep, that is fantastic, mate. Brilliant. Mrs. H says, and I don't let it go all day either. It's just like to fester in the negativity of it. I think that was Mrs. H saying I'm like Beck still, and I don't let it go. It's important to let it go.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn that.
You have to learn that. Yeah. You do. It's something you do learn. I think for me it's easier because I'm naturally really relaxed.
No, you're. I mean, I'm a bit of a hothead. I mean, I'm not ashamed.
Yeah, believe it or not, guys, she is. You know, like really.
The first thing that will come out of my mouth is rage, isn't it? And then I'll calm down and go, "Oh, okay, it wasn't that bad." Yeah.
Heather asks, "Is he planning to sport a man bun? What's a man? Is that?"
No, I hope not.
No, is that like a bun, like that you do on the girls' hair? Yeah. No, man buns happening, guys. Sorry, it's not gonna happen. All right.
Well, if you let it grow much longer, you'll be able to do it.
I'd love to grow it longer, but I just
no.
What if I get them to do like the neatness thing? Because I want to have long hair, man.
Okay. Okay, just do something to it then.
I don't know what to do. I'm just going to leave it for now. Richard Payne says, a buyer this week returned one of my items to the manufacturer's address on the box. Then had the cheek to ask me when he would get his refund. Okay. I mean, that is just that's something else, Richard. I don't know how you'd cope with that.
No.
How would you? That's just. What do you say to someone? Yeah, that's a fantastic issue to have, Richard. I hope you have dealt with that. You know, in a manner that you're happy with, because that's. You don't want to obviously give up that. Nick says, I have issues. Yes, I agree, Nick.
I think so.
Totally have issues. Okay. Moving on to another topic quickly. I will get back to some more comments, but and it's another gripe that, again, you shouldn't get frustrated by. And I didn't get frustrated, but again, you showed a bit of frustration to this. Okay. Now, as you guys are aware, sometimes if you're not sure on a price, or if you're asking top end, or just simply just to move a bit further up the search rankings, people sometimes put best offer on their items. Now, I've got an item that I've got best offer on, and I think it's up at £45 plus shipping. And yesterday evening, we got a comical offer of £1, right? So someone offered us £1. Now, again, your initial reaction is, are you kidding? You effing this or that? Or, you know, are you having a laugh? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But you quickly have to get rid of those thoughts. I mean, how did you feel when you saw that? What was your reaction?
Well,
why don't you share your reaction? Came marching in here.
I was in the front room. I was on the laptop. You were out here, and I come in. I stormed
marching in.
I stormed into here, and I went,
"Have you seen this?
Have you seen this? He can't be serious."
And of course, he's not serious. He really would not expect to get it for the item that is up for £45 for £1. Okay, it just doesn't happen. But you've got two ways of reacting to this. You can either fly into a fit of rage and lose your cool, which is completely wrong. Or you could instantly decline because it's so silly, and maybe counter offer with like 49 or 45.98, something silly, but then you become just as petty as or as silly as the guy sending you the derisory offer. Or you can just let him just leave the offer sit there, and if he doesn't cancel it, you've got 48 hours of a boost potentially to your listing, because it shows that there's an offer. And then after like 47 hours, you could just maybe counter him with a normal offer. Like if it's up for 45, maybe you're happy to take 40 for an item, and then counter offer him for 40, and then you get another 48 hours of the boost. So so in case you didn't know, you do get a boost when someone has an active offer on your item.
As it is, we didn't decline it. We've left it there.
We've left it, and then what we will do is we will then counter it. Gary Dunster says she needs to go for a ponytail. No, it's not gonna happen. Nick feels the Frozen song coming on. The Frozen sing-along, Let It Go. Maybe that can be in a Christmas video or something.
Yeah, maybe.
Beck, cut it while he's sleeping.
Do you know what? We're kind of half tempted to do that with music.
Sell his hair on eBay.
I don't know who's going to want to buy your hair.
Yeah, my hair's pretty awesome, you know. It's really thick and
lovely. It's nice and thick, yeah.
It's really long now. It is
nice
long.
And thick.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to shave again at some point as well. Len Smith says, be very polite to the rude ones. It freaks them out. Yeah, that's the attitude.
I mean, your attitude, you're brilliant when you reply to people that have been rude to you. You're very professional and polite.
You just get used to it, don't you? I mean, I was exactly the same earlier on when it would just bother me like crazy as well. So yeah, I'm much happier now to feel the way, you know, that I can cope with it a lot easier now.
Yeah.
So let's have a look. Richard Payne says that following on from the guy that shipped his item back to the manufacturer, and they told the buyer to open a return, they still haven't, and I've been assured that by eBay they will remove any bad feedback. In that case, they would do. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Let's have a look. I've had someone say, I will pay the postage if you can have the item for free. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
That is pretty crazy. Yeah, Mr. Caronelli said I had an item for 120 and got the offer for £10. I had the same reaction as yours. Yeah. David Morse asks a question. Yeah, guys, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat, and I'll see if we can answer them. You know, because we've gone through the main points of rent and information, haven't we?
Everything.
Pretty much, yeah. That's all I had written down. I didn't have a great deal written down. That was it. But David Morse asks, have you had any experience selling big box of games? Picked up Mech Warrior 3 and Planetscape Torment for £4. Just like any parcel, really, isn't it? So a big box game, just treat it like any parcel. Charge accordingly. If it is a heavy parcel, or like if it's like a collector's edition game, you will have to charge a bit extra. I know there's an issue with the games category on eBay where you can't charge more than, I think it's £3.50, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can't charge more than £3.50. Now, if you've got one of these collector's editions, some of them can be quite heavy. You might just have to factor in the other costs into the price.
Yeah, I mean, we've had something similar
with Diablo 3.
That was it. Diablo.
Reaper of Souls.
So we just kind of added a little bit extra to the price so that it kind of covers the cost overall. Yeah.
Miss Beauty asks, do you block them when they send such stupid offers? I don't tend to block people on that. No, I'm not one for blocking people generally, unless they've done something that I really suspect is underhand. I wouldn't count sending silly offers as something underhand. I think that's just, it could be someone just a bit drunk or having a laugh or whatever. I'm not going to block someone for that. Steve says, tidy yourself up, Z. You look like a tramp that lives in a cardboard box under a bridge.
And that's the look he's going for, Steve.
Yeah, so... Okay. Let's have a look. Question: what is your hair routine? Conditioner before or after? Well, I actually use. I take the mantra. Why take 2 bottles into the shower? I tend to use the Head and Shoulders 2-in-1. Is it?
Yeah, the 2-in-1.
Yeah. Because I ain't conditioning shit. Do you know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. Let's have a look.
Like the way you have to ask me what shampoo you use.
Yeah, Rebecca buys my shampoo. Yeah. Go for a comb over.
Yeah.
It's it is what it is, guys.
Yeah.
Well, we've actually got 80 people in here, so that is absolutely mega. As soon as I say that, it's dropped down. Like Mrs. H says, do you dye your hair, Z? You don't seem to have any grey. No, I don't dye my hair. I've got lots of grey.
And he does have lots of grey.
I've got lots of grey. There's the grey is all.
But the thing is, what happens is it's kind of underneath.
It gets hidden, doesn't it? Yeah. So
because all like the dark stuff's on top, and then all the.
Obviously, you can tell this is the place to come for informative reseller chat, and obviously my hair.
Discussing his hair.
Yeah. Gary Dunster has a question. This is my first year reselling. If my sales have not picked up by now, do you think they will pick up by next month, or is it a case I need to rethink my stock? What I would say to that, Gary, is obviously it depends. Your busyness depends on the kind of items that you sell. Now, when I started, and I still get caught up in the whole hype of Q4 is coming, Q4 is coming, and it's easy to kind of expect your sales to just suddenly switch on and items just start flying out of the door.
Yeah.
Now, and it's really disappointing when it doesn't happen. But then you quickly realize it's because the items you're selling aren't bad items. They're just not necessarily the kinds of items that are going to pick up. Yeah. The people that are going to notice the biggest boost in sales are those that are going to be selling like toys, video games, that kind of giftable items, boxed, packaged items. So if you sell like anything that's boxed or giftable, you're gonna likely see an improvement in your sales, right? So whereas if you're selling kind of very nichey, kooky, quirky items, you're going to sell them. You probably will see a little lift on a busier time. You might find that Christmas Day is when you pop off because people are, they've eaten, they're drunk, they're just looking for some shopping.
Just the usual Christmas.
Yeah, just getting online and it's true, isn't it?
It is true.
That's pretty what people do. So I would say just kind of bear that in mind. I wouldn't necessarily, you know what? One funny thing about reselling, isn't it? That you can be doing really well, but as soon as you have a few bad days, you suddenly question everything that you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one of those this week.
Yeah, you just suddenly question everything that you do. You're like, oh God, am I buying everything wrong? Am I like what's wrong with me?
Yeah.
Am I even doing anything right at all, etc.? And it's very easy to second guess and over question yourself. So that's my kind of answer to that. Sam Crowley says, I once said someone's offer was unacceptable and they bought the item and didn't pay. The item then sold 2 times thereafter to 2 feedback guys that didn't pay. That is absolutely horrible, Sam.
Yeah,
it sounds like someone, I mean, that's the thing. You don't want to get into whether someone's offer is acceptable or unacceptable. No matter how politely you pull them up on it, that kind of thing can happen, Sam. I'm really sorry to hear that happen to you. It's just nasty, and it's a shame that someone can take the time to do that. It's kind of petty. Silver Pirate says they have a new shampoo for beards now called Chin and Cheeks. I don't even know if that's true, but it's funny. Nigel VGM says, I've currently blocked France. I think they breed bad buyers over there. I think slandering an entire country's buyers is a bit of a rash move. I've sold plenty of things to France. And France, you may have had a few or a disproportional amount of bad experience, but I wouldn't block a country, dude. I mean, France is a big country. Scott Reed says request immediate payment. Problem with that, Scott Reed, is if you have best offer on, you can't have that. Do that. Yeah. Chris A says when you see that grey, reselling. Yes, definitely. I can vouch for that. Let's have it. Yeah, Heatherwood, can you ask for immediate payment for GSP? I think it doesn't apply to them. Yeah, that's right. It doesn't. You can't. They can take their time and pay. And the thing is, with GSP, you can't send them an invoice either. No. It won't allow. Let's have a look. Mrs. H says my clothes sales are fairly steady, I would say, but my games and toys are up. Yeah, definitely. I think that is going to be the running theme with Q4.
We've noticed a few toys.
Well, we've sold some toys. We've sold some board games. We've sold those kinds of items, definitely. Carp Fishing Adventure says, question, do you reinvest all your net profit now, or are you taking a certain amount out per month as a wage? Carp Fishing, we don't really take a wage out, but we do take out the money that we need from the business. So we're not reinvesting all our profit. I wish we were. That would be awesome. Nowhere near. We have been living off of our income.
We have.
Yeah, so it's not been easy. Gary Dunster says, I've had a few bad weeks, maybe months long. It happens.
I mean, we had a really rough October. October was really rough for us.
Yeah. So everyone gets those times. I mean, even this week hasn't been during it hasn't been amazing. UK Reseller asks, during Christmas time, has anyone had complaints from late post delivery? I've got a really good story about this. Yeah. Haven't I?
You'll have to answer that one.
Okay, I've got a really good story about this. When my first Christmas actually reselling, I came across I had a bunch of items that posted out. At the time, I didn't know any better, and I was using a company called InPost. And InPost were really good. From my limited experience, they were really good because
you had used them for
I was using them, and even though there was a lot of bad talk about them, I was using them and it wasn't a problem. I think at the time I had quite long handling times, etc. And I had a bunch of items going out, and this is like a week before Christmas or something. I sent out about 12 parcels, I think. 12 parcels, to the local InPost locker. Now, for those of you who don't know, InPost is a company that has lockers everywhere. You take your parcels, stick them in the locker, a driver picks them up and drops them off. Now, the reason why I used InPost is at that time, they were shipping items under 2 kilos or something for £1.91, including VAT. I remember that, and it was awesome. Now, I shipped out a week before Christmas 12 items. The day before, it was announced that CityLink were to go into administration, and CityLink were the couriers that were working with InPost, wasn't they? So weren't they? Yeah.
They were the drivers.
Yeah. So we suddenly had the situation where people had bought presents. There was some collectible stuff in there, and these people were not going to get their parcels. Now, I messaged every person about that I had posted using InPost. I messaged every person the same email saying, I'm extremely sorry, but I've just heard the news that this has happened, and unfortunately your parcel, I don't know when you're going to be getting it. It's going to be sometime in the new year. And
I mean, you had found out, because you had spoken to InPost, you had found out that
it will get delivered.
They just couldn't give us a time.
Yeah, and it ended up that these items didn't get delivered till the first week of the new year. Now, believe it or not one of those people left me negative feedback. Not one of them cancelled their order.
No.
I can't be certain and say they didn't leave me any defects or anything, because I'm not even sure. I was checking defects and things, but I'm guessing they didn't, because I haven't had any restrictions. I didn't have any issues. So what I would say is, in terms of late post delivery, there's not a great deal you can do about it, but communication is always a key thing. If you're worried about it, maybe even have like a template email set up that you can post out, start sending out to people when it gets to that kind of crucial moment before Christmas. You might want to send, I personally wouldn't, because it's just creating more work for yourself, but you could set up like a template email and say, I've posted this out there. I hope it gets due before Christmas. It should do, but there's no guarantees because we're so close and everyone's busy. I've talked a lot there.
But it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. Okay. So that's my answer to that.
That was a good example, actually. I completely forgot about that.
Because it was quite a big deal at the time, because I was very stressed, because it was my first, it was like the first Christmas, and I was stressed out because of people's toys. I was like, I remember there were all these wrestling figures and everything, and it was crazy. And and the worst thing was, there was a really cool LP set that that guy Tom York had made, like an LP, like it was limited edition LP that sold for good money, and I was like, oh my god.
Yes.
Okay, so that's my example. Can I just say we've got 89 people watching?
Wow.
We've got 39 thumbs up, which is fantastic. But I'm gonna have to ask everyone to smash that like button, because I have to. Because I have to. It makes me feel good, and it will bump up the video in the search ranks, so I can get all that YouTube money. Thank you, guys. I'm just winding you up, guys. Only if you enjoy it, okay?
Yeah.
All right, let's have a look. Next thing, many people leave it too late and then give you grief when it doesn't turn up in time. So people don't leave feedback. So many people don't leave feedback. Is it just me? Silver Pirate? No, it's not just you. People don't leave feedback.
Yeah, people don't. Well, they're saying that we did have quite a funny one this week.
Yeah, go for it. Best feedback of the week. That's it.
It just reminded me, because we had this feedback this week. We sold a Friends plate, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a Friends plate. The old school style,
like really old school. I remember having one when we lived in our flat in London.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And it was. Yeah, it was just really funny. Zahir went to me, because have you seen our latest feedback? And I was like, oh no, I haven't. So I had to read, and all it was I can't remember. What was it? Thanks.
The feedback. Let me quickly get it. Yeah, we were actually going to do this, weren't we? It was going to be. I forgot to do it. Yeah. So this is like feedback of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was it. It was like, came super quick. My mum will never know I broke her plate now. Thanks.
So that's got to be.
So that's not been one of the best.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of people don't leave feedback.
Yeah.
But that is a
But when you-
classic feedback.
When you
isn't
do
it?
get some,
And is that good? Yeah. Now my mum will never know I broke her plate. So that she's paid £9. I think we sold that plate for.
£9
We picked this
was-
plate up for like 50p or something.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy with getting £9 for it.
Yeah.
So I was really happy. That was a great feedback. Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, let's have a look. So many people do late. So many people leave. People don't leave feedback. Ultra Game Well says use auto decline if it gets to you. Oh, you're talking about best offers here, I'm guessing maybe. Let's have a look. As I work for Roma, I would say Q4 is starting as it is hectic now. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I mean, I've worked at Christmas at Royal Mail, so I can understand it. It does get really hectic.
Definitely.
With the amount of parcels and letters and cards and stuff like that going through. Yeah.
Carp Fishing asks 100k a year with not much free time or 30k a year with loads of free time. What would you choose? Ooh, it depends what you were doing for that 100k a year, though, doesn't it? It depends because you might enjoy it. So if it did take up all your time and you enjoyed doing it, then you wouldn't mind not having much time. But I mean, I don't want to have any free time. I want to be doing something with time, like even I mean, you've got to remember. I mean, I always think that sometimes
I love being busy.
Being busy is it's so important. I mean, you've got to look at it this way. I mean, Rupert Murdoch is a multi-billionaire. He's like 80 something years old. He still gets up and runs his empire, whether you like it or not. You look at Vince McMahon. He's known for saying that he only sleeps 4 hours a day. He's again super rich, owns WWE, and he's So I just want to be busy doing things that I like doing. Is I think how I would answer that. Yeah. Richard Payne says I use InPost all the time. Bargain postage, says David Wilson. Communication is key, definitely. Thanks. No worries. UK says cheers. Good info. Cora Harrison. Oh, InPost was dreadful for us back in 2014. Swore I'd never post with them again. Cora, hope you get your voice back. I saw your recent video. You haven't seen it yet, have you? No. You gotta watch it later. Yeah. She's completely lost her voice.
No.
Helen had to.
Hope you get that.
Helen did a decent job. So InPost, we were really happy with InPost apart from when CityLink went bust. The other thing I don't like is when I forget my Brazzers account. I'm not sure what Karl Marx is talking about there.
Sorry.
I know what Brazzers is, though. It's like that porno site.
Oh.
Yeah. Don't worry, I don't go on it. Raz asks, is Michael still locked in the shed? Yes, unfortunately for Michael, he is. It could. Let's have a look. Okay. Well, I might. Some talk about passwords. Talking about the free time. Okay, guys. Well, wow. Thank you very much for all the comments and questions. It's 7:50 now. I'm not really sure what else to talk about now, to be honest. So if you guys have got any other questions or comments, let's have a look. Would I be right that Nick is listing right now? It says UK reseller. I would guess so.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, the comments are definitely going in a different direction here. With are you not allowed to watch porn if you're married? Ask Karl Marx.
I'm not going to answer that.
I would say no. I would say you shouldn't need to. But anyway, we're going to leave it on that bombshell. I'm giving out porn advice.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm doing another FBA right now.
Here's a good question from Nick. Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands? I'm going to leave that to you guys to discuss because I can't even.
Okay. Do you leave the buyer feedback? I think a while ago you were setting it on an automatic feedback when they leave you.
Yeah,
feedback.
I've done it so when they leave me feedback, it automatically leaves me feedback.
And I don't think we've changed that at all.
No.
Yeah, if they leave us feedback, they get there.
Exactly. Okay, guys. Well,
Yes.
Thanks everybody for tuning in and watching. I really appreciate it. It's absolutely humbling and fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the chat. You enjoyed it, obviously.
We enjoy.
We always enjoy doing it. We always enjoy doing it. It's been a lot of fun. Karl Marx has answered Nick's question with feet for hands because I like foot. Okay.
I think we should stop reading. Yeah, I think we should stop reading those ones.
Actually, one more question before we go. Gloria has asked a serious question.
Yes.
Does UK PayPal have a debit card? Here USA talk about it. USA, we don't have a debit card, but it's like a debit card. It's a PayPal MasterCard.
Yeah.
It's called the PayPal Access card they have, and it works like one of those preload credit cards where you can only spend what the balance on your PayPal account is. So it comes in really handy, and you should get one. So that's that. The comments are gold, says Chris. Steve asks, are you going to be working tonight or messing around on Street Fighter? Probably a bit of both, Steve, but mostly working. But anyway, guys, we're going to call it a night on that. I hope you enjoyed the chat. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, see you next
Maybe
week.
some videos in
Hopefully
between.
again, during the week we may
Hopefully, yeah. Okay, guys.
Yeah.